the spring of 2000, the Red Hook Community Justice Center opened its doors in Brooklyn, New York, in a neighborhood plagued by unemployment, poverty, and crime. Red Hook is isolated from the rest of Brooklyn by a massive expressway. Once a busy commercial port, Red Hook suffered heavy job losses in the 60s. In the 70s and 80s, heroin and crack cocaine devastated the community. And in 1992, Red Hook hit rock bottom when a local tragedy made national news.
The turning point for the community was the murder of the principal from the school, Patrick Daly. And I was actually a detective in the housing police department at that time and worked briefly on the case. And to think that a principal looking for a student who happened to run away from school would result in a homicide, I think the community said enough is enough.
When I went to the wake, many residents expressed that anger. And I knew that the chief judge, Judith Kaye, had in concept thought that having a local community court would be a good thing.
Judge Kaye took that idea, developed that idea through the Center for Court Innovation, and really put together this court.
But today we're opening what I believe will be an exciting new model for the court system well into this century, the Red Hook Community Justice Center. People will be coming here to find out how to do it in the rest of the city and the rest of the country.
We can be part of the solution, not just part of the problem, because we are part of the problem. The courts are part of the problem when they simply take in a drug addict, adjudicate the case, and put out a drug addict on the streets. And we are doing that over and over and over again. We don't have to do that. We can do better than that.
I think the underlying concept that animates the Justice Center is what we would call problem-solving justice. And that's the idea that courts shouldn't process cases like widgets in a factory, but that they should really try to solve the problems that bring people to court.
Before the court opened, Justice Center planners spent several years soliciting community feedback through focus groups, door-to-door surveys, and town hall meetings.
We needed to do something to improve safety in Red Hook. So when we heard of the Justice Center, we said, great.
Located in a renovated Catholic school, the Red Hook Community Justice Center offers a coordinated approach where a single judge hears cases involving family problems, landlord-tenant disputes, and low-level felonies and misdemeanors, like prostitution, drug possession, and other quality-of-life offenses. Criminal offenders are required to pay back the community by performing visible restitution.
I want you to do is conditions of release, job readiness, the life choices group, and the marijuana group. Whereas downtown I only have jail or out, here I have a number of different tools to use to get to that person's problem so that they don't come back in front of me again.
If you don't have a system like this that is trying to offer the help, trying to give the help, a lot of times these people, they're going to be in jail for 30 days and they'll go right back into the environment that put them there in the first place.
You ever been to this court, have you? Okay, this court's a lot different than courts you're used to, okay?
Yeah.
A lot of what we do here is essentially trying to help the defendants overcome their drug dependency or some other problems that they may have, with a goal of getting them to lead crime-free lives. He's one that we're recommending for treatment. Let the defense attorney know too, so the clinic can sort of start seeing them right away.
When a person is placed into treatment, we monitor that treatment very carefully.
Another success story that should complete today. What's fascinating about him is that he's a homeless vet and he's clean, like for the first time in like 20 years. So we're pretty excited about that.
Sometimes a court has to use jail as a tool, just like the treatment is used as a tool, sometimes jail is used as a tool. It's usually the last resort. I'm sentencing you to jail for the rest of today, tomorrow, Sunday, part of Monday, and on Tuesday I want you back here, and I'm going to want to hear what you're going to do. But it's sometimes that short jail period that really gets the person to understand that if he or she continues down that road, this is exactly where it's going to get you. I'm proud about a lot of cases that have been in front of me, mostly involving some of our graduates from the drug treatment.
I just want to say that I'm grateful for this court and for all that's a part of it. And even though there was some resistance on my part, I couldn't be more happier the way things turning out.
Obviously, this is a good result for you. It's also a great result for the community. And I'd like to give you a round of applause.
By building stronger links to citizens and community groups, the Justice Center seeks to improve confidence in the justice system. Engaging residents in regular open meetings, the Justice Center gives the community a voice in shaping its goals.
I just would like to know how sincere you guys are in really trying to tackle this problem.
Is it going to take some period of time? Yeah, it's going to take some period of time. But I think with this communication, you really have an effective tool to deal with it. And I think together we can solve it. And I think it's that communication that's going to solve it.
I like what you said, we.
I know Red Hook. I'm part of Red Hook. The Justice Center, we opened up, and at the time, it was like, listen, I've got to be part of that. I got to be part of it. Is where I grew up at. What's up, man? Well, this is a community court, and we treat the community with a lot more respect than you normally would give them. How you doing?
The Justice Center is built upon the people here. You have court officers, you have clerks, you have attorneys who are not only working with the community during their work hours, but after work they're coaching Little League.
The Red Hook Community Justice Center also engages local residents in doing justice through a corps of local volunteers who combat neighborhood disorder, fixing broken windows, cleaning local parks, and painting over graffiti. The Justice Center is also home to a youth court where local teenagers use positive peer pressure to deal with minor infractions that are traditionally ignored by the justice system.
All rise, the Honorable Judge Courtney presiding.
If your teacher would never have caught you with a knife, what would have happened to it? Nothing, it would have stayed in my pocket.
All services at the Justice Center are available on a walk-in basis for community members, like GED classes, child care, job training, and drug treatment.
I've been in the justice system for 20 years, and I finally feel that I have a chance to really get to the problem that caused the person to come in front of me, so that they don't come back to the justice system again.
Red Hook is a very different place today from what it was 10 years ago. Crime is down, as are levels of fear. There is a new sense of hope, along with new development. For the first time in a generation, Red Hook went 2 years without a single homicide.
As a police officer walking through the streets of Red Hook, I've noticed a real change for the positive. Crime is down, the quality of life is greatly improved. The community cares about what goes on in Red Hook, and a big part of the community caring is the Justice Center.
The Justice Center has had tremendous impact. There were years ago you could not come into this park and sit without worrying about a gunshot. The Justice Center has far exceeded my expectation.
Since Red Hook has been in operation, everyone who comes there comes away with the same sense. This is extraordinary. This ought to be expanded.
I think people around the world should and do care about our little community court in Red Hook. We're learning some terrific lessons about courts, about communities, about justice.
The Justice Center began life as a one-of-a-kind experiment, but its success has not gone unnoticed. Cities around the United States and the world are opening their own community courts.
Now, antisocial behavior causes misery to thousands of people up and down the country. And to tackle it, a special court system, pioneered in America to deal with petty crime, is to be tried in Liverpool.
The Red Hook story is far from over. The Justice Center continues to test new ideas and new approaches to crime and disorder. While the Justice Center is still a work in progress, one thing is certain. Red Hook has shown that community and justice are not opposing forces.